Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer show. This is a show where we talk about stuff, play you some music, and encourage you to be creative. This season, we are exploring the art of being human. We want to say thank you to our patrons who support us each month. If you want to know more about that, visit us on patreon.com/chasingebenezer. For more information about our musical endeavors, visit chasingebenezer.com. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hi, everybody. Oh, welcome back. And I almost took your face out there, Ben. Sorry, I was trying to give a broad welcome with my hands.
We haven't even started and she's already dancing.
Oh, yeah, that was like interpretive hand dancing. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, wow. We're off to such a good start already.
We're just on a roll already. So, hey, we are going to talk about dancing today since that's part of the art of being human. I'm Heidi. This is Benjamin, whose face I almost destroyed.
Yeah, I only got my hand.
Oh,
it was
okay.
more,
Yeah, you blocked me.
I blocked you.
But first, we just want to say welcome. We want to thank all of our patrons who help make the show possible. And I don't remember what else I'm supposed to say.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, that was it.
That was it. We get to talk about what we're excited about.
Okay.
You ready to do that?
Sure.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I'll go first. I'm excited because we're playing in a new venue this weekend. We're playing at a place called Bigfoot Growlers 2 is what it's called. Bigfoot Growlers 2 in Sandy.
Because there's one in,
because there's another one.
Damascus.
But any bar that's called Bigfoot, that makes me happy. And so I'm really excited about playing there. And
so here's what you can do. You can tell us if you are a believer or are not a believer in Bigfoot.
Yeah,
my sister has her photography. Part of it is she actually
Sasquatch
does
arts. Yeah.
So yeah, let's find out what you think. And that could be your art prompt. If you don't want a dancing one, then you could totally make something. What? Okay, let me ask you. Are you a believer?
Yes.
You are a believer. And why?
Because I think there are plenty of creatures that have been created that we haven't discovered yet. And so, why not? Why not? Every time I go on a hike, I hope I run into some strange cryptozoology creature, like Bigfoot or Chupacabra, or I'd love to see a UFO. That way I can have a story to tell. I want to see something that no one has seen before. Who doesn't want to see that? Maybe you don't want to see Bigfoot. I don't know. Would you freak out if you saw Bigfoot?
Oh, absolutely.
You would? Okay.
Of course I would. How would I not?
How
could you not freak out? How could you not freak out?
Well, if you freak out, it draws attention to you. So it's probably not a good idea to freak out. I'm pretty sure Sasquatch can smell fear.
I don't know. Sure. When I meet him, I'll let you know what he says. So, well, I'm excited because I've been figuring out how to paint the moon.
Yes.
And so I don't know what you
You've
can
done
see.
a great job.
I'm working on it.
I'll be your.
Okay, you might need to go to my Insta.
Your Insta.
My Insta.
You're so hip now.
Probably the fact that I said that means that I'm not. But the moon fascinates me, and learning how to get different shadings and stuff. And William Shatner went to space, and so that excited me so.
That was really cool.
Oh my goodness. How exciting for William Shatner. That was just excited me. I probably already I don't know if I mentioned
you
that.
mentioned it last
week.
week.
I'm just so excited about it that it's continuing.
It earned a second week to share.
It earned 2 weeks of mentioning. I'm still excited that he got to go to space. So
yeah. I'm excited that I get to share a brand new song with you today. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I'm addicted to writing new songs, and this is a new one. This is really new one, and that's her dancing to it already. So I'm excited about that. And where did we feel our humanity this week?
Well, I'm looking over at the sink, and the sink never seems to be empty of dirty dishes. So that's just like one thing.
Dirty dishes scream you are human.
Laundry Mountain
also says that you are human.
Well, I think a lot of you know that I lived overseas when I was a teenager, and one of the common traits they talk about, it's in the book Third Culture Kid, is that kids who live in different cultures, they're kind of like guessing at what's socially acceptable, socially normal. Like, I was also homeschooled, and so I think people in generally with being at home are feeling socially awkward, and I already all the time pretty much often feel socially awkward. So I'm just feeling that a little bit later. Like, what is appropriate? What isn't appropriate? What's not? So trying to not care too much about what people think.
Yeah.
And yet
you have to be around people, so you have to care a little bit about what they think.
Yeah, so this really fine balance of knowing how to be. So I'm feeling a little more socially uncertain these days. So,
well, you belong to me,
Thank
so
you.
you don't have to worry about that. But I think a lot of us tend to feel that way, and especially if you're a creative.
Yeah, there's also that.
I think everybody's a creative. Most authors do as well, but like, if you're someone who creativity is a part that you're very intentional about, I think it's very easy to feel out of place.
Yeah. So in general, I have felt that. So
yeah. Me, where did I feel my humanity this week? I'm gonna take a different turn with it. I went on a walk yesterday to a new park. I love going on trails and things like that, and I'm in a men's group that not requires, they have you do that every couple weeks. And I'm noticing that the more I'm doing that, the more I'm in nature, the more I'm interacting with nature, the more sense of belonging that I feel. Like, I feel a lot more connected to creation than I did a few months ago. So I'm really grateful for that. Very, very grateful for that.
That's a nice way to think about being human.
Yeah, I thought so. Because whenever human,
like,
I'm tired, I'm depressed,
I'm so
my
tired.
nose is running, So yeah, I feel human because I feel like I belong to creation, and that's a good thing. So yeah. Well, speaking of things that I'm not excited about, I'm excited about talking about it, but we get to talk about dancing today. And you and I have very different emotions when the word dancing comes up. So we're going to talk about that. So we get to talk about dancing. And I want to know what your feelings about dancing are. Those are her feelings about dancing.
I love dancing. I'm not good at it, but I love it.
Why?
It's so fun, especially with other people, like at weddings and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just so fun because there's the music and there's the movement. It releases endorphins. Oh, yeah.
This is not my experience with dancing at all.
You don't enjoy dancing.
My history with dancing was I go there so I can have a girl slow dance with me. That was my experience with dancing. And thinking about this, I think some of it is because I'm a person that likes peace. I like calm. So going to a place, like, I don't like going to exercise classes where someone is really jazzed about exercise and trying to get me to feel that way. It's a great way for me to not want to come to the class.
You did enjoy going to the ballet.
I did.
Like Romeo and Juliet, you were sitting there watching them.
Ballet to me is a completely different thing because
it's
dancing, but it's not like I don't like party dancing. I think that is my thing. Not that party dancing is wrong; it isn't. But for me, I'm not a party guy. I'm not the life of the party. I don't tend to go to parties because what releases
no one invites you.
Well, what releases endorphins for you triggers and anxiety for me.
Okay, it isn't so. So there's performance watching dancing, and then there's you literally like participating in it.
Right, and when we took that class, we took a dancing class at Mountain Hood Community College.
And that's a great option, by
Wonderful.
the way. If you are wanting to learn dance, the community colleges often will have a much more affordable price than a dance studio. Not that we're not wanting to support your local dance studio either. So whatever you can do. And a lot of sometimes the Elks Club, things like that, they'll have dancing as well. So We had marvelous teachers. We took like 12 weeks of basic ballroom.
Yeah.
And it is so hard. Oh,
It
the
is.
waltz. Oh my gosh. Oh, I had no
The
idea
waltz
how hard
was really
how
hard.
the waltz was.
The swing dancing was fun. I enjoyed that.
I forgot almost all the steps, but
Yeah, I did too.
communication was like learning how to communicate with your partner.
Mhm.
Oh, that was
Yep.
and to not be like,
Not to be obvious when you're irritated with your partner. That's the other thing that's kind of a challenge. But, I don't mind that. I think that, like, and maybe other people can relate to this. If you're someone who naturally feels very insecure with their body, if you're someone who naturally feels insecure in social settings, if you start to do anything more than a sidestep, you begin to feel like all eyes are on you and all people are laughing at you or thinking you're some weirdo. That's usually the psychology that's happening to me when that's going on. So that doesn't mean that dancing isn't a beautiful form of art. And I think it's a great way to connect with people. It's just a way that feels extremely vulnerable to me.
and yet you still do it sometimes.
I do. And I enjoy dancing with you when I know what the heck I'm doing. I did as a kid, I loved karate, which they have things called katas, which are kind of like it's choreography.
Like a flow.
Yeah, it's a flow.
Yeah.
And I remember.
Is that kind of sort of like Tai Chi movements? No?
I mean, that can be part of it. I'm trying to remember what they called it. They actually, when I was a kid and I took it, it was almost called ballet at one point, like martial ballet
cool.
or something
That's
like that.
Cool.
And it was there's a song called Exodus, and they set an entire series of moves to it, and we did it to the music.
That's cool.
I absolutely loved it, and to this day, I probably remember a good portion of that kata. It was pretty cool.
Dancing in disguise.
It was dancing, and I think it's dancing from a individual thing.
You just don't like
group things, team sports, pep rallies, sporting events. I like going with friends, but I don't like having to act excited. So I feel like we're making this a lot about why dancing is hard, but for me it is. And I think it's something I need to overcome. And I think a lot of it has less to do with the form of dancing as much as it has to do with what's going on inside of me that makes me feel like I have to hide.
Oh.
So,
yeah, that makes sense. That could be a journaling exercise if you feel resistant to dancing.
Yes. Ask yourself why. There might be some serious things to deal with there. Yeah. So what is your favorite, maybe like, we talked about musicals last week.
Yeah.
What is your favorite? You've seen a few ballets. What would you say is the most meaningful one you've seen so far?
Well, I've only been to 2.
So your options are limited.
But we did see Romeo and Juliet, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
How the story was told without words.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you could tell if you knew the Romeo and Juliet, it was just so amazingly portrayed through movement. So, oh yeah, I love watching Dancing with the Stars. So you think you can dance. I love those shows.
She does.
So.
She does.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Millions of people are like me and they totally agree. So I think dance just, for me, releases joy.
Mm.
I can be so not that way. And so like singing, it's a way to release joy. And
so maybe it's a matter of just starting to dance.
Like this. See, people are watching, and I don't care.
And I don't care.
That's not really dancing, but.
Well, it's more of like if you have inhibitions, maybe sometimes the cure to those inhibitions isn't alcohol and drugs. It's because some people think they need to do that so they can do the.
I think that I would, fall on the ground. So
I can barely. I can't do. Most, shoot, Benadryl is enough of a drug for me to knock me out. But I think the act of starting to dance is a way of like removing some of those inhibitions and practicing joy. Because some of us suck at joy. I suck at joy, so maybe I need to practice it a little bit more.
That's true. Yeah. You know, one of the things I loved back in the day when I was growing up is I loved, my mom did Sweat into the Oldies. And so
I actually did Sweating to the Oldies at one point in my life.
And so you know what? That's kind of like a choreographed. I would actually.
That's the Richard Simmons one, right?
Yeah, Richard Simmons. Yeah. And so that's kind of like dance. I mean, that's so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to do those. So,
Zumba's like dance too,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So I think when you're doing it as a group, you know a few things. There is something bonding too, especially if you're all bad at it. You know, it's kind of like if you, it's kind of like karaoke. There's usually like one really good person, but then there's like if you're all kind of not good at something.
And the really good person is the one that's going to be holding the camera the whole time for all the bad people. That's what that'll be for.
So there is something fun about doing something together where you're not a professional, where you're not required to be an ace at it, but you're just doing it together. You're enjoying it. So we quite a few years back, it was so fun. We did we went to the Greek festival here with some friends.
Oh, yeah,
and
that
they did
was
the circle
fun.
dancing, and that was so fun. And just a couple little steps. And then you have all these people and strangers, but you're circle dancing, and that was really fun.
Yeah, I love that. And there's a lot of church traditions that, you know, like back in the Old Testament, I'm sure there were dancing and stuff like that. That was a part of the culture, whereas it doesn't happen so much now. It's
not that kind of dancing.
Not that kind of dancing. We need to bring circle dancing back. I think that needs to happen. I think that definitely needs to happen. So what are some prompts for people with dancing? Because let me just say this really quick. Like I do think just like how if singing isn't your main thing, the act of singing can probably loosen you up a little bit and help you be more creative. I think the same thing is very true with dancing. Maybe part of your creativity ritual can be dance for 5 minutes by yourself or with somebody, with your cat. But do it with the video camera if you have the cat. And it'll just loosen you up to it's a way of just kind of getting all the perfectionism out so you can create
loosen
something.
up. Yep.
It's a good warm-up.
Yeah, and doing things that people have done for centuries is good just because we don't tend to do it as much. Except like at weddings or school dances, that kind of thing. Again,
if corporate management could start
a board meeting.
Let's just start with some circle dancing for a bit, and then let's talk about why our company isn't performing well. You see, that's a great idea. Companies need creatives.
There you go. So I think that there's so many options. You could watch a dance show. You could, or a movie. Like, once again, Singing in the Rain is my favorite musical. I mean, the artistry of Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor. I mean, oh my word, the level of skill. And so, watch a dance movie or something like that, or go do a ballet. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful art forms that I've ever seen. And there's also, you could put together a dance playlist.
Yep, you could do that.
Yeah, find music that you like to dance to, or that maybe you would like to dance to.
I was going to say, well, that could be something that's really good. I mean, like having a night where you have your own private dance party for yourself, where you put it on, nobody's watching, and you just start to move. You just start to move. Because, I mean, that's the best way to start dancing, and then maybe you can invent your own dance moves and either impress people or make people kind of turn their head like, that's kind of cool.
There's so many options out there. And maybe take a dance class, or even YouTube. You can totally learn dances online, and there's great tutorials out there for learning how to dance. And Mr. Rogers, even, I think there was an episode when I was a kid where he taught waltz. So that's why I wasn't expecting waltz to be so hard.
Because you just assume, well, if Mr. Rogers can do it, anyone can do it.
No, it was because I think they just showed you the back and forth, just the one move. I wasn't like thinking that you have to sorry, I'm gonna hit you again. Like that, as you're waltzing, you're like
We're dancing right
moving
now.
around a circle in a ballroom.
This is the
with
Ben
other
and Heidi dance happening right here.
people. So, but it was a really. I remember that Mr. Rogers taught me how to waltz. It was a really sweet episode back in the day, and maybe draw or paint or write a poem or something with dancing. I think that it's just so many options. So don't feel like you have to you don't have to love dancing, but we just want you to try it out.
But if you want joy in your life, and I'm saying this as somebody who is cynical, serious and sarcastic, I need to dance more, and I need to do more things that are just fun for the sake of doing them. So. The song that we're going to do is not titled yet.
I'm not going to do it.
I'm
just going to enjoy you.
But I'm going to dedicate the song to my friend, Steven Peterson. Steve, you're an awesome guy, and I really appreciate you. He and I had a conversation about a month ago, and he gave me some pretty good feedback about my songwriting, and it was good. It wasn't like, here's why you suck. It was like, have you considered trying this? And so, take note.
That's how you can help people versus,
yes.
Why didn't you do it this way?
And it was a very open-ended thing, and it definitely affirmed the things that I'm good at as a songwriter. And so I started writing a song after that conversation, or it might have been around the same time, and I had that in mind. And so this song is different for me on a few levels. Most of the songs that I write are pretty heavy and serious. So this one definitely has a lighter feel to it. And it's basically describing for me what happens when I wake up every morning, how I don't want to get out of bed because I'm scared of what could happen. And it's an invitation to just enjoy it. Enjoy life as a gift. So I'm going to play that for you.
It's got a little.
It might make you do that. I'm not going to do that while I'm playing it, but she might, and she won't be on camera. So anyway.
That's good for everyone.
Nah. Anyway, we love you. We hope that you do create, dance, all of it. We'll see you soon. Bye. Waking by sunrise, peeling your blue eyes wide. Inhale the unknown. Why should we be alive? So much we don't know, crippled by a need to control. Daylight hours, breaking your options down. No matter how you spin it, chance of rain you could always drown. Yeah, dizzying voices can't seem to find what the right choice is. What if? What if? What if the night brings sorrow and suffering? What if the day brings laughter and loving? You may dance, you may sing, you will cry, life will break your wings. Just remember to surrender your ending. Dust shape our footsteps, haunted by where you've been. You're stuck at a standstill, Wish you could go back again. So much we now know, except when we need to let go. What if? What if? Oh, what if the night brings sorrow and suffering? What if the day brings laughter and loving? You may dance, you may sing, you will cry, life will break your wings. Just remember to surrender your ending. Cherish your life, a gift to be open. Walk in deep ways, Creator can show you. Live awake, live awake. Cherish your life, a gift to be open. Walk in deep ways, Creator will show you. Live awake, live awake. What if the night brings sorrow and suffering? What if the day brings laughter and loving? Will you dance? Will you sing? You will cry, life will break your wings. Just remember